Ooh. What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon. Today is a big one. We're going to the giant size toy fair out Caulfield Racecourse. So we have a regular toy show that happens every few months called the Modern Vintage. What's it called? The Vintage and Modern Toy Fair. The Vintage Modern Toy Fair. I held at Malvern Town Hall. The same guys who run that put on this event, the giant size toy fair. They did one last year and it was probably the best event I went to. As far as like being a collector goes, they had a massive space and there was just so many vendors and it was all the good stuff. Collectible toys, comics, anything you can go from. And when I'm talking toys, I'm not just talking the stuff that I like. I'm talking from Hot Wheels, Barbie dolls, just everything you can think of. There's someone selling it there. So I'm super excited for today. I cannot wait to see what they've got on offer. The guys are nice enough as well to offer me a media pass. So I'm able to get in early. They normally do the first hour is early birds only. So you have to pay a little bit more for the tickets and you get in first, and it's obviously a smaller crowd that get in that first hour. So hopefully it's not going to be as crowded as last year for me in the morning, because last year was insane. It was just shoulder to shoulder and it was great, but it wasn't that easy to look around because it was so crowded last year. But I'm pumped to go today. So just a quick shout out to my some minions. Your support is greatly appreciated. Channel membership is now available. To find out more, hit the join button to find out about perks and exclusive videos and content. But always remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on all the videos. Let's do this. All right, so it's 20 minutes before doors open for early bird. And the car park is already truckers. Had someone say hi to me just before, which is cool. So yeah, I am pumped for today. So here we go, they're about to open the front door for all the early birds who paid extra money to be in here first. Now, freeze frame. Shout out to my buddy Mick here. Check him out on Instagram to follow his awesome collection of toys. Hey, look who it is. What's going on, bro? It's a bit early.
I know, dude. Did we sleep? Did you sleep last night with all the excitement? How could you sleep?
Mate, I had a bunch of drinks last night, so it was all good.
Forget about it.
So Sarah's not here. She had too many. She couldn't make it. So in I go to the event. There's SizDog getting ready for a big day. Now, this shot here really doesn't do this place justice to just how big this venue was, and just wall to wall full of goodness. It's so hectic, I don't know where to start. Alright, boys and girls, prepare yourself for a tour de force in awesomeness. They really did have something for everyone. There's some stuff for me. Aliens, vintage Kenner figures, mint on card. So I had to look through those. But like I was saying, if you're a toy collector of any kind, there's something there for you. Vintage toys, new toys, dolls, plushies, whatever it be. Ooh, I used to have that when I was a kid. If in cards not your thing, loose figures all over the place. And this dude here, he's showing up in all my videos lately. Here's some Star Wars figures. They had old Star Wars figures, new Star Wars figures. What else is there? Middle Star Wars figures. They got these 12-inch Star Wars figures. A random Queen alien just sitting there amongst all that Star Wars goodness. These loose figures here belong to our friends at Secret HQ. It's always fun to chat to Kirsty and the fam. So I had to go through some of their loose figures. But Kirsty was also minding a store for a friend. And that friend had these. I'd never seen these before. You guys know I've got this weird thing with Alice in Wonderland, and I'd never seen this figure before. It was very tempting, but I had to have a good look at it, and there it is. Never seen these before, but they were all awesome. He had all kinds of Disney characters from whatever that line that is. The Star Wars franchise probably had the strongest presence at this toy fair, though, I gotta say. Hey, it's my buddy Teddy Ruxpin. I remember that guy. Oh, and Humphrey B. Bear. What else we got here? This is all old vintage mint on card figures, Batman, more Star Wars, got some Star Trek I see. Now the dude who owned this table had a chat with me asking me about my videos, so it was cool to check in with him. He mostly specialized in Star Wars. It was very cool to see so many people actually come up and talk to me about my videos, including this guy who owns this store. I love this store. I don't know the guy's name, but he sells all this really cool vintage and retro stuff. And he also appears at a lot of the big conventions like Supernova and Comic-Con, and he actually does a mean Boba Fett cosplay. But yeah, it was kind of cool to find out that all these people I didn't know watch my videos. Probably not all my videos, just some of my videos. Hey, if you've watched one of my videos, I'm happy. Hey, it's Vampirella. Now, Masters of the Universe is something I loved as a kid, but not something that I've gotten back into when getting back into all this collectible stuff. But lately, I'm not going to lie, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about Thundercats too. Now, this dude here, I've actually purchased stuff off his eBay store. He specializes in the Warriors, and you guys know I love the Warriors. Here's his card. He's called the Warriors Down Under. I've actually seen him before at big conventions like Supernova, but this is the first time I've seen him at a small convention, and it was really good to actually have a chat with him. He had the Wanderers jacket there, and he had the Warriors vest. One day I will have that vest. But yeah, this guy's table was absolutely awesome to go through and chat to the guy. Now this guy here is not selling toys, he's actually selling toy cases. I had to learn that the hard way once when I picked up one thinking I was buying the toy, and he said I'm just selling the case. But I do need to go visit him one day to pick up something for my one of my Kenner Aliens figures. Here's some more loose figures. I enjoyed going through the loose figures. I mean, there were so many of them, it was hard to really find anything, but I do enjoy going through the loose boxes now. Smell that? That's what the Rocky's cooking. I didn't even know what these were. They look like Nintendo games, but maybe from Japan, but they look cool. They look like these VHS type covers. That was super cool. I'd never seen those before. Now I'm wondering, for all you guys who aren't from Melbourne, tell me you don't want to come to this event. Some Batman loose figures here. Cool Riddler figure. Cool Joker figure. That's pretty cool. Here's a shot for all my Hot Wheels guys. There were plenty of stores that sold nothing but Hot Wheels, and I actually had a look through some of them. This is not a toy store. No, like seriously, this is not a toy store. That's the name of the store, guys. They've been in a couple of my videos before in the past. And this store belongs to my buddy from Vsupply. There he is. And this is Billy's table, the legendary Billy. President of the Yarraville Comic and Toy Fair. There he is. Love me some Billy. Now the guy who owned this table had all this cool vintage stuff. He was the guy I bought my first vintage aliens from, which was at last year's Giant Size, and he had some here for $10 and I didn't buy them. Shame on me. Hey, and it's my buddies Justin and Sophie. They were there, so I had to say hi to them. This dude here had Vampirella and Red Sonja action figures. I've never seen them ever in the wild, only ever on YouTube, so that was super cool to see. And of course, security at this event is always tight. They get the Empire to control the crowds. Here's a crossover I never thought I'd see. Darth Vader and the Cookie Monster. These guys here, DTE Collectables, are a father-son combo, and they always like to catch up and have a chat with me when I see them at events. Charlie, what's going on, mate? How's the day been?
Don't ask.
Don't ask?
Oh
no, that's not good.
You can edit it out.
Now keep in mind, it was still the first hour of the day, so even though Charlie hadn't made a sale yet, by the time I came around and saw him on my second lap, he had made some sales. He had a smile on his face, so good on you, Charlie. And then I bumped into my mate Mick again from the start of the video, and I shoved the camera in his face and forced him to show me what he picked up, and he picked up some awesome vintage goodness. This is the dude I met at the Diamond Creek show, and I bought my Spider-Man figure off, so had a chat with him. This is just to show you that they had everything, My Little Pony, dolls, and then this is what you guys watch my videos for. The beautiful signature panning shot of the day's event. I probably could have picked a better spot with more people, but eh. And then of course I bumped into Justin and Sophie again, and Sophie couldn't help herself. She got another Hello Kitty for the collection. And then I got to chat with my new friend here. I've been seeing him at all the events lately. What's the name of your shop?
Mr. Anime.
What is it?
Mr. Anime.
Okay, you gotta give us some promo here. There we go. Mr. Anime. Very cool. You shop, do you have eBay or just an online store? Okay, cool, nice. So Tom there specializes in anime, as you can see, and he's my new friend because he calls me Donnie Yen. Because, you know, I look just like Donnie Yen. The resemblance is uncanny. Anyway, he's got all these cool statues here. I love this bunny girl statue he's got and these Street Fighter statues. They're all awesome. So check him out at MrAnime.com. So it was about to hit 11 o'clock, and I really wanted to get a shot of people coming through the door. So they let people in sessions. So 9 a.m. is the early bird, then 10 a.m. And then when 11 a.m. hit, the crowds were really serious. And I basically got caught in this wave of people. And when you're shoulder to shoulder in big groups like this, I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to sound rude, but the BO gets pretty intense. But yeah, it was good to see the place fill up and people enjoying themselves. Now here is the real money shot. Look at this beautiful panning shot of the event. Again, if you're not here, you know you wish you were, but this is a really good shot of what the day was really like. And hey, I interviewed that guy in the red t-shirt there. He cosplayed Batman at Supernova once. I found this super cool Conan figurine. It's a little bit out of my budget, but it looks absolutely awesome. I had to show that to the camera. Look who I bumped into. Yeah! Apparently they let anyone into these things.
Yeah, I know, they let you.
Mate, you're so late. Everything's already gone.
Sorry.
You're so late.
Some people have jobs unlike you, work 3 days a week.
I have a job.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that book you're after? Oh, that's right. It's already sold. It's too late, mate. They're all gone. All the bangers are gone.
Did you buy them all?
What?
Did you buy them all?
Yes, they're all in my backpack. I sold them to you for four times the price that I bought them.
So you bought an X-Men #1, did you?
Yeah, there's an X-Men #1 in my bag. Facsimile.
I'm sure you know.
So I was about to leave, but since Sean just got there, I had to hang around just a little bit longer to give him some shit. Sorry, man, it's already sold. Alright, so it was an absolutely awesome day. I was there, I got there at 8:30 this morning, and it's about 1:30 now. So it was a big day. I saw so many, obviously, good friends and people I've met along this whole journey. But before I show you guys what I got, I just want to plug the next event. So these guys, they run the Malvern Vintage and Modern Toy Fair. Sorry, the Vintage and Modern Toy Fair held at Malvern Town Hall. The next event is on Sunday, 28th of April. So if you guys are into all this and you haven't been to one, make sure you check out that event. All right, so firstly, big shout out to the guys who organized the event, Andrew and Will, I think it was, that offered a media pass, which obviously is very helpful to get into these events. So shout out to you guys. The event was absolutely killer today. And also shout out to all the people who came up and spoke to me. A lot of people today came up and said that they watched the videos. One guy was like, I only found out about this event because I watched your video. So obviously that always means a lot. So thank you all, the people who come up and say hi and who watch the videos. I appreciate it. All right, so I picked up quite a bit of stuff actually, a lot more than I probably should have. We'll start off with maybe some comic books. So the first thing I'll show you is 2 comics I picked up, just 2 issues. I picked these up off Charlie from Bulldog Comics. I'll try to remember to leave a link to everyone who appeared in the video in the description below. So if you want to check out some of the other content creators and sellers and things that I guess have become friends with, all their links will be below. So when I go to these comic fairs and toy fairs, I don't go to look for something in particular. With comic books, I literally just, if I come across something, I come across something. And I literally, while I was chatting to Charlie, this book happened to be just at the front of the short box and I was like, oh, how much is that? 20 bucks? I'll take it. So this is Tankers, issue 1, and also issue 2. So you had both issues back to back there. So these books came out a couple of years ago from a comic company, publishing company called Bad Idea. And at the time, there was a lot of hype around these books and this publishing company. So the books at the time were going for just stupid amounts. There was this, what was the Maniac, I think was the name of one of the books. That book was just stupidly priced for no good reason at all. And anything coming out from that publishing company was like a spec book for some weird reason. I always wanted to read Tankers because I heard good things about it. I think it's got something to do with humans in mech suits taking on dinosaurs or something like that. But the first 2 issues for 20 bucks, I was super stoked to pick that up with Charlie. So big shout out to Charlie at Bulldog Comics. And then I just picked up one more comic book from Secret HQ. Obviously, I love the guys at Secret HQ. And they were doing 50% off ratio covers. Now, I always talk about how ratio covers, I try not to buy too many of them because they're quite pricey down here. 50% off, I couldn't go wrong. So I picked this one up, one I've wanted for a while. It's one of the designer variants from DC that they were doing. And now this is actually the first appearance of Clown Hunter. A small character no one cares about and he probably won't be seen again, but I've always loved Clown Hunter. I just thought he had a great design, and I've always said for a long time that if I ever make a comeback to cosplay, I would love to create a Clown Hunter cosplay. So shout out to Secret HQ. Kirsty gave me a good price on this too. So yeah, thank you to you guys. I always love the team at Secret HQ. Then I'll show you something I bought for Sarah. Sarah didn't come with me today because she wasn't feeling well. So I knew that Sarah being sick at home, waiting for me to come home, I had to get her something to make her feel better. I got her this. I haven't actually given it to her yet and she can hear me probably from the next room. So I'm gonna go give this to her now, but it's a Chromie thing, yeah? Shout out to my homie at Vsupply who hooked me up with this. Alright, so Sarah enjoyed that. That's how you do it, boys. Alright, this was the first thing I couldn't resist. So I did 3 laps of the place today. I got in at about 9:15. I walked through the doors and I don't think I was done with my first lap till about, I don't know, it was just before 11. I think I was done with my first lap. And I didn't really want to spend any money in my first lap, but I was like, if I see something that I just need to get right there and then that I don't want to miss out on, I'll get it. So I picked this up. It's a Red Sonja action figure. I have never seen these in real life. I mean, I've watched YouTube videos is what I meant, but I've never seen it in the wild, I guess you say, right? So seeing these, and he had a crazy price, they were 50 bucks. He also had the Vampirella one, which I want them both. I couldn't justify buying both right there and then, so I picked up the Red Sonja straight away. I wish I bought both now, because by the end of the day, when I went back past, he had one Red Sonja left, but he'd sold both Vampirellas. But the reason I chose the Red Sonja, I just think figurine-wise, I think the Red Sonja just looks a bit better, and I probably do some really cool poses with her and some of my other figurines, so pretty cool. Again, you just don't see these kind of action figures around very much. I see them on YouTube videos in America and things like that, and these go for a lot when I've tried to look them up on eBay. So it wasn't something I ever thought I'd own because I'm not paying $120, $150 for this thing, but this dude had it for 50 bucks. I'm like, yep, yes please. So pick that one up, and I'm sure I'll do an unboxing in the future, so keep an eye out for that one. One thing I forgot to show in my haul video was these Warriors pins. I picked these up off the Warriors Down Under guy. As much as I would have liked to buy some other stuff from him, it is the only things I could afford. So I bought 2, one for myself and one for a friend of mine who is a big Warriors collector. So yeah, I forgot to show those, so I'm showing them now. And then one last thing, when I saw Andrew at the start of the day, he was like, make sure you check out my DC Multiverse, because he knows I like my multiverse figures. I was trying not to buy stuff that was kind of new, because you know, when you go to these things, it's kind of like your opportunity to find old stuff. Like you're into vintage toys and things like that. I really wanted to buy some loose figures today, and it was actually the guy who I bought my Aliens figures from last year. He was there and he had more alien figures and they were going for 10 bucks. And I didn't buy them on the first round, on my first lap. And by the time I came back around, he'd sold like half of them. He still had a couple left. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure the ones that I want, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm spewing that I left. I didn't buy them the first time around, so I missed out on my vintage figures. There was a lot of carded Aliens Kenneth figures that I also like, but I don't really want to buy those figures carded. I'd rather buy the vintage stuff loose so I can actually display them, because if I buy them in box, I'm not taking them out of the box. So I popped past Andrew's store and he had some DC Multiverse figures, some new ones, and I was like, ooh, I've been after these two. I didn't buy them straight out because I was like, these are fairly new, so they'll probably be around for a while. And then at the end of the day, I still had like, you know, just a tiny bit of money left. And I said, you know what, Andrew, I think I'm going to buy one of these. I couldn't decide which one. And he said, from what I'm seeing, this one here is selling quicker. So maybe get that one because, you know, it might disappear before you know it. So I picked up Steel DC Multiverse figure. I just think this figure looks absolutely great. There's actually a, I think it's a Mafex one that make a Steel as well, which looks fantastic. But DC Multiverse, just much more in my price range, but really cool figure. Steel was a character that I thought was very, very cool when I was like a teenager during the reign of Superman. I mean, I might have been younger than a teenager actually. Back when the reign of Superman was happening, after the death of Superman, there was all these new Superman characters, and Steel was my favorite. I had a bunch of his books as a kid. I can't say I remember much about the character now, but yeah, I just think this is a really, really good looking figurine, so I had to get that one. And that's all I picked up, but before I finish up the video, I just want to plug a couple of events coming up, because I know a lot of people now are watching these and finding out about events, so I may as well promote them, right? So I think I already mentioned a little bit earlier, these guys are doing the Vintage and Modern Toy Fair. They do this quite regularly at the Malvern Town Hall, and their next event is on Sunday, April 28th, so make sure you check that one out. These events are a little bit shorter, 9 AM to 3 PM, so hopefully I've got that Sunday off, and hopefully I'll be at that one too. They had this other flyer for Geelong Comic Book Fair. Now, I haven't actually ever been to this one. I have heard good things from some of the comic book sellers, that these events are actually quite good. So if you're into the comic books, I'm sure there'll be toys and things there too. But the Geelong Comic Fair, I might have to check that one out if I happen to be free on that date too. But yeah, that's it. Again, a shout out to all my friends who I got to bump into, all the people that came up and said hi to me, and obviously just the usual crowd that I see at these things. It's always good bumping into you guys. And for you guys watching, if you're still watching, I appreciate you. Make sure you give this video a like, leave a comment. And until next time, I'm SimpleSimon. Tell your friends and keep it simple.